This video is brought to you by Storyblocks Video. If you like to learn cinematography and become a good filmmaker, it doesn't always mean that you need a lot of money. Today, I want to show you guys how to shape the light to create more dynamic and cinematic shots using a super simple tool. Hey folks, it's Jordy here for Cinecom.net and welcome to Creative Tuesday. Now, we recently shot a short film and a week before we went into production, I decided to scout some film equipment web shops, and I came across this reflector right here. It's a 1 meter by 50 centimeter frame or 40 by 20 inch, and a cloth with a white, a gold, a silver, and a black surface. And this thing costed me 20 bucks. So I ordered 3 of them, and although the build quality is not the greatest, what this simple frame is capable of for us filmmakers is remarkable. And actually, the only thing that I need is the black surface. So if you're a little bit handy, you can easily create this thing yourself. Now, we're talking here about a flag, one of the most useful tools in cinematography. Now, I've got 5 reasons why any filmmaker should have at least one of these, but before we start, I'd like to make a quick shout out to our sponsor, Storyblocks Video. Storyblocks is a growing online library that is driven by a strong community of talented creators. Now, you can find 4K stock clips from some of the most unique places. There are effects like transitions and styling elements, but also After Effects templates, which allows you to render out a professional animation with your logo or content within minutes. With a single price per year, you're able to download as much as you want without additional fees. For more information, make sure to click the first link in the description below. Now let's get started with the flag. Tip number 1, negative fill. A simple rule to create more depth is to shoot against the shadow side of a person. But what if you're outside and the light kind of comes from everywhere? Well, instead of adding a light to add more brightness to one side of your talent, you could also remove the light. So instead of adding a fill light, we're taking away that fill light. In other words, a negative fill. Adding a shadow to one side of your talent also creates more depth to your shot. But don't forget to also shoot against that shadow side. And if you would like to learn more about creating depth with light, definitely check the link in the description. Tip number 2, removing spill light. And this is actually really broad, so I want to give a few examples. For example, here we have a space light from aperture hanging above the talent. Unfortunately, it also casts light onto the wall. So I'm setting up my flag in such a way that the light source still casts light on the talent, but not on the wall behind him. We are removing unwanted spill lighting. Another unwanted light is a flare in the lens, and this occurs when the light is shining into your lens. Of course, you could use a matte box and a top flag to get rid of the flare, but we don't always have that around. Black wrap is also an option, but that takes away the flexibility of your lens. So simply put up your flag and get rid of that spill lighting in your lens. And finally, I'd like to add that you could also use a flag to set it up above your camera guy. When you're filming outside, it's not always so easy to see what's on your monitor. Throwing a jacket over yourself is definitely great, but again, it takes away that flexibility. Tip number 3, soften the light. That's right, you can actually use a flag to soften the light. The further away you are from the light source, the harder the edges become. Now, if you're getting close to the light source, those edges become softer. And even so soft that it can cover a pretty big area. And this could be interesting for backgrounds to add a nice gradient over it. Now, of course, this is a quick and dirty way to do it, but if you're shooting a project, time is something we all need, and a lot of these things happen last minute. Even in our short film, we often had Janik or one of the light guys jump into the set holding a flag somewhere right before the clapper. And the same thing is with negative fill. The director yells action, and you're noticing that the talent looks too flat. So you quickly jump into the scene with your flag and save the shot. So that's a bonus tip, always have a flag with you. Tip number 4, use a flag as a cucullurus. Yep, that word actually exists. A cucullurus is essentially any kind of shape that will create a specific shadow pattern. And we've got a cardboard here in the studio as well that resembles the shadow of blinds in front of a window. We also have a theater spot that comes with a bunch of these templates. Here you can see that we have a branch of a tree in the studio now. Set up 2 flags in front of a light with a small gap in between. This creates a narrow shadow. You could resemble your talent now peeping through a door. Or this one here, where we lifted a flag upwards. And with the proper sound effects, our talent is now standing in front of a garage door. Just use your creativity. And that brings us to the last tip, which is special effects. This is a very broad thing and involves anything that adds an effect to your scene. For instance, you're filming a car scene in a studio. To mimic that the car is driving, you move the lights around. For the general fill light, we simply moved a flag in front of a softbox. And here, Kim is actually using a foam board, as that was the first thing that we could find. So as you can see, as long as you can cut the light, you're good. Another interesting way to use your flag is to wave with it and make wind. You could use that to add a flow into your smoke, or to give the impression of wind on your actor. And those were my 5 tips with a simple flag. If you would like to see more cinematography and lighting tutorials, then definitely let us know by hitting that thumbs up and maybe place a comment of what you would like to see next down below. We're always scouting through these comments for new ideas, so we'll definitely see it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Storyblocks and Video for the support. En as always, stay creative. Oh, dat is erg vandaag, jong. So you... Tip number 4, use a flag as a cuculurus. Yep, that word actually. Of course. Wat is dat er allemaal in mijn stem?